What an incredible 2 days of speakers we've had. And Director Wray, thank you for everything you do, as well as all the men and women of the FBI and everyone who's here representing the various government agencies, state and local. We are all safer because of you. To close our conference, I'd like to invite Brett Goldstein, Special Advisor to Chancellor Diermeier, to the stage. Brett's reputation, he hates it when people talk about him, so I'm going to do it. Brett's reputation is as a disruptive innovator known for breaking bureaucratic silos across industries, everything from the Department of State to Silicon Valley. He's been an entrepreneur, a venture capitalist. He's served as a Chicago police officer and as a commander in the Chicago Police Department. He was Chicago's first chief data officer, chief information officer. He's also served in the Department of Defense as well as in academia in a variety of roles. Breaking bureaucratic silos, having interdisciplinary conversations, and developing interdisciplinary solutions is one of the goals of the summit. Behind the scenes, Brett has worked tirelessly to make sure we meet this goal at the summit. I'd like to thank Brett and invite him to stage to close our conference.
So there is no upside to talking after the director of the FBI. So I had this fantasy that the whole FBI team was going to leave right after the director's talk because I'm like, oh great. My jokes tend to fall flat, so there's nothing good now. But anyhow, Nilu, thank you. Thanks everyone. I have the easiest gig in the world. I get to say thank you, and thank you for coming and doing all this. So here, big questions. Who has to go back to work today? Really? Okay. Who gets to play? Last important one. Ready? And you have to be honest with me. Who's going boot shopping? Okay. So I got a couple people. And, I expect people my 14-year-old wanted to remind me that the Tay-Tay album is coming out at midnight. So, and I know, Tuna, you're super excited. Yeah, and being in Nashville for Tay-Tay is huge. But anyhow, in all seriousness, there's been a lot over the past couple days, and it's been great. When we think of our bookends, we had General Hawk, we had Director Wray, and we really got the scope of something that when we decided a number of months ago to go deep on China, this was a critical discussion we had to have. And what I found remarkable is the level of candor that came from these conversations, starting with yesterday, our ambassador to China from Estonia, just boots on the ground view. It was just, the honesty was amazing, to Shithal. When a few months ago, when I'm like, yeah, we need to have T2MC here, everyone's like, T2MC, Brett? Who is this? And yet she walked us through all of these different pieces. And I think most of us just came out smarter, and we started learning about new problems that we didn't even know we had to worry about. Some were obvious, some are new. And then we got at some of the ones that really just hit us personally. So this morning, Administrator Milgram talked about fentanyl, and the response we got was just remarkable. So I sit in the back and I hide during the summit to make sure everything goes well. But I keep up my text and all of those different things. And my phone lit up. So I'm hearing from everyone from clinical folks to, for those of you that know me, I used to be in the cyberspace, who are like, we need to run some cyber missions against cartels. And everyone was saying, so I wrote it down, how can I help? And that's one of the points of why we do this. We want to talk about the issues. We want to engage new folks. We want to bring them together so we can all get smarter. And then we learned, the talk from the DUSA, the Deputy Undersecretary of the Army, learning about the Army's equities in Indo-PACOM. Just educational. We all come out smarter, and then we help tie them all together. So with that in mind, I'm going to tell you a couple stories, and this This will all be super quick. So a number of years ago, so I've known the Chancellor for a long time, in a different life, he and I built a program, which was a dual degree in computer science and public policy at the graduate level. And this was years ago, and everyone thought we were nuts. And they're like, why would you mix those two together? And yet those graduates are some of the most popular kids out there, because my slogan on that is, I want kids who can write code, but also brief POTUS. And if you don't know who POTUS is, you're at the wrong summit. So we created this program, and everyone's like, oh, what are Diermeyer and Goldstein doing? And yet now I look around at this room, and I see people who study brains, I see high-performance computing folks, I see intelligence professionals, all sorts of law enforcement right now, even an Air Force pilot. We have all of the different disciplines, and this is what is right. Mixing it together to be able to collaborate and work on the wicked problems is what really matters. And we need to break down those silos. As Jillian Tett, our moderator yesterday, she wrote a book, The Silo Effect, talks about breaking down those silos to work on these hard problems. So as you're looking around the room, and I said this at the opening reception, look at people who you don't know. Look at people who have a completely different discipline. Those are the intersections that really, really matter. And before you leave, I'm hoping that you will take the time and do that. And also hang in Nashville, make friends. The other part to talk about is, as the Chancellor announced yesterday, we're starting our Institute in National Defense. And that is awesome. But one of the pillars that he described is convene. And that's why we're here. And that's why we put in all of this time. And it's critical, as someone who spent too much time in DC, getting out of DC, having the right people in the room to focus on the wicked problems is critical to our national security. And help us continue. We've just done year 3 as we think to year 4 and beyond. What can we do to make these convenings more impactful? Who are the right people in the room? As you can see, we try and keep it small and keep it very, very high quality. But we love the discussion, and at the same time, we want you to bring us your problems. All day and yesterday, we heard about partnerships. Bring us those hard problems. Bring us those middle-of-the-night worries so we can be that partner in national security, and part of that is convening. And looking around the room, the quality of this group is just amazing. So with that being said, I am going to thank folks. So thanks to everyone who this year we had people from all over the world, all over the country. Thank you for coming out and joining us in Nashville. It took a lot of work from a lot of folks and a lot of partners. And when I look at the agency list, I am just super impressed because everyone's busy. It's hard to leave DC. It's hard to leave your organization. Thank you for the partnership. We value it. And then within Vanderbilt, it's a big effort. This is a full court press here. And all the various departments came together. I want to call out a few folks. Chancellor, thank you for all of your support on this initiative. To Provost Raver, the continued academic support and leadership has been critical. And then for our Director of Ops, Claudia, is she in the room? There she is, over there. The amount of work and stress that Claudia has had to deal with, and also working with me is fun, has been remarkable. So thanks to everyone. We look forward to seeing you for Summit 4 next year. And for now, thanks again for coming, and enjoy Nashville. Be safe.